So, after taking down the two body doubles, it's time to head into the server room, and oh dear god. That is... oh god. It's creepy. Also, look who it is. Sundowner. How lovely of you to turn up, dude.
Virtually though, no fuss, no muss. Straight to the brain. It's like a dream.
Oh, this whole speech is really, really disturbing. When you actually start to think about things. It's just like, oh.
They enjoy it though. We give their pleasure centers a nice big jolt every time. Plus, they get a shiny new body as a graduation present.
And that is even creepier.
Another thing you have in common. I chose this. They're kids, you son of a bitch.
Exactly.
And kids are cruel.
That is unfortunately also very true.
They just lose touch with it as they get older. Start thinking
It's a horrible thing to say, but in this instance, Sundowner's quite right. But the thing is that having that sense of right and wrong is very good. And in fact, pretty much all literature of the past, God knows how many centuries, has been focused on being good over being bad. And knowing that difference, it's only been kind of the past century or so where that line between what is right and what is wrong is kind of blurred, and kind of judgment has been kind of withheld quite frequently.
And who does? The Patriots are gone. Those guys just manage the war economy. They didn't invent it. Did you think every battle in history was all part of some big old conspiracy? Bullshit!
Well, I have to say, if you thought that every war was part of some conspiracy, I have to say that would be a pretty impressive conspiracy to have, like the Norman conquests in like 1066. Well, it wasn't really that much of a conquest, but like the Roman invasions and obviously what happened in World War II and stuff. It's not a conspiracy. Anybody who thinks war's a conspiracy is completely deluded, I think. Humanity is just really that lustful for control and power over things, which is rather sad. Now, if you want one of the humanoid dwarf geckos, there's one over here which you gonna want to destroy, and our boss fight is literally just across the that bridge to the right of us, so that's where we'll be heading. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to just continue much further, so let's go take down Sundowner in a fight that I have to say is not my favourite, largely because I suck at it. You'll see why I suck at it very shortly. But my word, I am terrible at this fight.
What happens in 3 hours? Don't matter. You're too late. Even at Mach 2, you wouldn't make it. And
That's insane.
It's gonna take some time. Slow and painful.
So, not only do we have to fight Sundowner, but there's a helicopter shooting at us at the same time, which is just wonderful, don't you think? Now, we'll go into the mechanics of Sundowner in a minute, because we're going to be here a little while. But the song that's used in Sundowner's fight is called Red Sun, which is particularly poignant because the term Red Sun over Paradise, which is used in the lyrics of the song, references a blood-stained night after war, but the bloody moon is changed into a red sun, so it's like a new dawn with drastic changes, with humanity contaminating beautiful paradise of the world. So it's quite cool that you then have the Japanese garden beforehand. So basically the way that you gotta beat Sundowner is hit the right spot on his shield to cut it, and then cut down the rest, like cut off the arm to get rid of the shield. However, as you can see, I suck at this. I don't know what it is, I think I just keep getting really bad angles on Sundowner. And then when I do go to do it, I don't know. Like, seriously, I just fail at this fight all over. And I dislike it because of that, because it's just very frustrating. I mean, it is kind of like a step up on making sure that you're learning the mechanics, because you've got to be more specific in where you swing your sword with your blade mode this time. And the final boss fight is going to take that a step further. But yeah, just not a fan of this fight in general. And although Red Sun's a great song, I think it's one of the lesser boss fight songs, if I'm honest. I mean, the lyrics are quite cool, but Red Sun over Paradise, Red Sun over Paradise. Golden rays of the glorious sunshine setting down such a blood-red light. Now the animals slowly retreat to the shadows out of sight, and breeze blows across the mountains, giving flight to the birds of prey, and the distant machines come to transform Eden day by day. This got a bit longer, but there's no point in me covering that, because you're probably going to hear a little bit of it relatively soon anyway. The one really frustrating thing about this fight is that if you don't get out of this first phase relatively quickly, Sundowner's going to be really low on health by the time you get to the second phase. In fact, you can actually just kill him in the first phase and never actually hear the lyrics of Red Sun. So it just goes to show that this game does allow you to fight on your own terms and succeed on your own terms, but obviously you don't look half as cool as when you're actually succeeding. So Sundowner's name is based on the hot winds of California, but it's not actually derived from a location from his origin and or heritage, but it comes from the acts he commits on the battlefield. Now, if you fight Sundowner with his personal weapons, I believe you can knock something off of him, or something if you charge the pincer blades, something like that. Also, the pincer blades were added to his character because Kenji Saito, the director, was very, very fond of an old role-playing game where one character had one large one-handed scissor weapon, and also that it fit his character, which was based on a heavily armoured samurai. So, we've made it through the 2 phases. This is the 3rd phase which we get to do. The only boss in which we have a different song playing during the entire boss fight instead of one single song. Now, this is the other rather cool bit that you get to do, charging up somewhere. It's rather more frustrating than earlier because it's very, very likely that you're going to get hit. But as long as you don't die and make it all the way up to the top, we get to kill Sundowner! Yes! Because I have to say, he completely deserves it, and we need our Revengeance. Definitely. Also, quick time events and so on and so forth, it's always just quite fun. Take that, Sundowner! After everything you've put us through, it's the least I can do to completely and utterly annihilate you. I have to say, considering how badly I did it that fight, I'm very, very surprised I got a B. Very surprised.
In 3 hours.
He'll launch Operation Tecumseh.
Who? Armstrong?
I've already said too much. I have a call to make.
Got yourself shaving?
Well, I mean, we were very, very close with that sword. So, yeah. Oh, why, thank you, Sundown. It's very nice of you to compliment us like that after you're dead.
Well, you get your wish. Up to you now.
So, yeah, we only really have one more boss that we really properly know to take down, and he's coming up very soon. The end of the game is nigh, because the next 2 chapters are really short, like really stupidly, seriously short. They could have lengthened them somewhat.
So whatever it is, it's not happening on American soil.
Nope.
To spike demand for PMCs, it's got to be a political hotspot. A coup or civil war in a state would have a domino effect.
And they'd want to draw in a superpower.
You know, there was kind of the president going
He's on his way to Pakistan.
Pakistan, yes.
Happens to him there.
That'll go well.
The War on Terror Part 2.
Contact the military.
Official channels are frozen since Mexico. Unofficial channels will take too long.
Besides, what's our proof? Who's gonna believe us over World Marshal?
Then we have to get there first.
Yep.
Impossible. It is the other side of the planet.
It's never impossible, Boris. Never. Trust me. I've seen very, very insane things happen in my video games. Nothing is ever impossible.
With time to spare.
That's...
Mach 23 if we're talking 1 atmosphere. 17,650 miles per hour.
That would make Pakistan in under half an hour.
Right. Contact Solus.
So, that brings us to the end of the chapter. Raiden needs to make it to Solus. But first we kind of need to get out of Denver. It's kind of important. So now we also have the Desperado body, which is quite cool looking armour. And we also have the pincers, which are really, really powerful. And if you wanted a replacement for the polearm, the pincers are a great option. They're just quite slow, I believe. And that's why I'm not a fan, really. I just prefer the arm. I don't know why. I think it's because I've never really properly tried out the pincers. I probably should do at some point. But either way, we're actually pretty much at the end of the game now. We just have 3 chapters remaining. 2 of which, as I've said, are really short, and 1 of which is the final level, so it's a bit longer. But still pretty damn short, all things considered. We've cleared the main struggle, so yeah, it's time to bring this whole thing to an end. We're gonna have to escape from Denver now, so let's go.